G'day and welcome to the first edition of the Footy Show.
21st season of existence.
Welcome back to Turn It Up.
Hello and welcome to the Sunday Footy Show. Get fired up.
The wait is over.
And let's kick it off now.
Oh, how good's that?
Oh, look at that.
These women are creating history.
Get that into you.
Champagne Rugby League.
Reece Wells will seal it from Brisbane. Cleary, who punches through the middle. Nailed. Got it back to Gunderson. How about that? Everyone is on their feet. Troll's going to go back to back. What a kick. Tackle of the century. Here goes Nico.
Got one person sitting.
Munster's got it. There you go.
Oh, yes.
Ponga, yes.
How have they done this?
The crowd roar.
This is what you live for as a footy fan.
Yes, hello and welcome to the Sunday Footy Show. How good? Only 3 more sleeps until State of Origin 1. We have a big show coming up as always with Brad Fittler, Andrew Johns, and in for Billy Slater we have Paul Gallen. Welcome, Gal.
Thank you.
Big week for you. We will get into that very shortly. But just off the top of the show, we would like to say that we are thinking of everyone in northern New South Wales and across the state who's been affected by the floods. We hope that you're keeping safe and your loved ones as well. And also a really big shout out to all of the emergency service workers who are doing their very best to clear everything up and keep everyone safe. So from everyone here at Wide World of Sports, we are very much thinking of you all. Now, Gal, as I mentioned, big week for you on a couple of fronts. But first off, you were inducted into the New South Wales Rugby League Hall of Fame alongside Andrew Ettinghausen and Benny Elias. 24 games for the Blues across 11 seasons, a Wally Lewis medal in 2014, Brad Fittler medal in 2011 as well. Quite the career in the sky blue jersey.
Yeah,
you must be really proud.
Yeah, what an honour it was. I mean, I was sort of one of them guys that not too focused on things like that or worry about things like that. I think when you retire, you sort of move on and let the current crop of players be the focus. But I wasn't going to go because I got 100% footy on Monday night. So they actually rang me 2 or 3 times. I said, I can't go, I've got to work. And it was Simon Fordham who rang me and said, Gal, I think you better go.
Oh, so you didn't know you'd be inducted?
And I didn't know. And then when I got there, I didn't know who else was going to be inducted. So when they called our names out, and here I am with Benny Elias and Andrew Ettinghausen, 2 guys I grew up, like with these 2 guys. I never went for a rugby league team as a kid. I only ever went for New South Wales. That's all I cared about. So to be able to go out there and get that award with them 2 guys who I grew up idolising was just a pinch yourself moment for me. And something I'm very, very happy about and very honoured to receive. So it was a great night.
Very, very special. Now, you also then the following morning, you were supposed to have a press conference for your upcoming fight with Sonny Bill, but you were a no-show. Why was that?
Well, I think when you think about boxing, you need a bit of hype, a bit of hysteria and a bit of drama. And here we are 6 days later on a free-to-air channel still talking about it. So I think what I wanted out of it certainly happened. We've been talking about it every single day since Monday or since Tuesday. And which is what you need. You need a bit of hype, a bit of hysteria around it and create attention, and that's what I've done. So I think what I did work.
Do you reckon you'll knock him out?
I'm planning to knock him out, yeah. I'm planning to knock him out. And look, he said that's the only way I can win. I'm a little bit concerned about certain things, and I hope a lot of organisations are watching the fight because he's been involved in fights before where he's been knocked out in the corner. His managers jumped in the ring, stopped the fight, and he somehow still won. So I'm hoping a lot of people are watching it and it's all done fairly.
Well, to watch it, you can scan that QR code on the bottom of your screen. It is May 28, only on Stan pay-per-view, or you can also head to Ticketek for tickets. So very much excited for that, but excited for the rest of the show because this is what is coming up today. 3 more sleeps until Origin 1. We're going to chat to Beau Fermor and Shanae Sizolka as well ahead of Game 3 for the Women's Origin up in Newcastle. Plenty doing in Clubland, more upsets galore, and we've got the latest on the Lachlan Galvin saga. A special guest for Turn It Up, Kangaroos, Blues and Sharks Hall of Famer Jason Stevens is in the house. And last but not least, we have another special edition of Freddy's Pass-Off with some junior footy stars from the Greystain Devils. So we're going to get into our Sunday salutes now. Freddie, you can go first this morning.
OK, I'm saluting. A big back row was picking on someone that was out of his weight division, poor old Brad Schneider. Dylan Lucas scoring 3 tries, ran over him the first one. Did something similar on his second try. great balance for a big man, great speed, real athlete. And his third try come from chasing a kick. He does this regularly. The back rows these days are incredible athletes.
He should have
And
scored
actually,
four.
well, 4 in the first half. And so it takes you to think of some of the great back rowers. A little bit of lair in the last opportunity, but you go into one of the immortals, Frank Burge, played for the Glebe Reds. He scored 6 in a game. He was a great try scorer. He was a back rower. Steve Menzies. I remember Gary Coyne scored 4 tries. I think it was in a semi-final. So big boots to fill, Dylan, but he's up to it. What a good player he is.
Well done. Joey, who are you saluting this morning?
Mine's to James Tedesco. The extra responsibility this year, this flick pass here was all class, nearly Benji Marshall-like. I guess he is nearly in career best form. The extra responsibility with all these younger players, he's in everything. I watched him really close last night. He pops up everywhere on the field, both in attack and defence. Yeah, the extra responsibility, I reckon he's close to career best form, so well done, Teddy.
He said when he first got the captaincy, at times he was trying to do too much and focus on helping the others and lead as well, but he's learnt to just trust everyone else and just focus on himself, which is clearly
been
working.
a knock on Teddy over the years. If you haven't got that dominant voice, he could get in and do too much. I think he's got the mix perfect. Jeez, he was good last night.
Gal, who are you saluting?
I want to salute the debutants. We all got to have our debut at some stage, and we have to wait for that opportunity. And Joash, I think it's Joash.
Papali, yep.
Papali, he got a try on debut. Wasn't he powerful and fast off the mark? He's a player of the future for sure. Xavier Vaha. Now, I know Xavier Vaha and his brother Dilo. I've done some boxing against them many years ago when they were young kids. They're both Queensland heavyweight champions and fantastic family. And this man, didn't he play good? I actually backed him to score a try. Harrison Hassett, yeah, great try on debut. So, yeah, we've got to get our debut somewhere, and sometimes you just need an opportunity, and them guys made the most of it on the weekend, so well done.
What was he paying to score a try?
I didn't check that, but I was actually on radio yesterday, and I called before the game. I said, one of these debutants are going to score. And they put it on me. He said, who? Which one? I said, Hassett. And he got the try, so thank you, my man.
So good to see. One of the best parts too is seeing them go to their families afterwards. Yes. I think all 3 of them had over 100 friends and family there. So
the clubs do it so well these days. Back when I debuted, you just get your debut, you run out there and play. That's about it. But these days, the club give you however many tickets you want.
Jumper presentations.
Jumper presentations. Family come in, they make shirts for it. It's awesome.
They make it very special indeed. Speaking of special, only 3 more sleeps until State of Origin 1. So, of course, that is the topic of our Sunday roast this morning. It is exclusive, live and free right here on 9 from 7 p.m. on Wednesday night. Both camps obviously are in full swing at the moment. The Blues are heading up to Queensland this afternoon. What about Billy? He seemed very relaxed last week. He seemed relaxed all week in camp. Freddy, how do you think he will approach this series coming off the loss last year?
Well, State of Origin has proven to us that the team that gets beat normally learns more than the team that wins. So that little added bit of motivation all the time of coming off a loss has always proved to be a really the difference in a lot of State of Origin series. So I think he's got a good team. The bloke had just dropped the ball there, Tino. I think he's a huge in. I think last year they missed him incredibly. They had no Flegler from the year before last year. They also had no Tom Gilbert, which, unfortunately he just got injured again. So they're going to miss him, but also Munster. So you get your lead forward back and you get Cam Munster, who's he's most probably your best player. So I think he'd be pretty comfortable going in up there, especially first game. It'll be a pretty hostile place. You're not going to get much luck, I don't think, the Blues, so they're going to have to earn everything. So I think he'd be pretty comfortable.
And Gal, for the Blues, Laurie Daly back in charge. A significantly different situation for him this time around. He was there for Queensland's decade of dominance, up against a side that would have been tough to beat no matter who was coaching, but he now inherits a team of stars that come into this one as favourites.
Exactly, and look, there's a few coaches along that ride too. That are decade of dominance, but he's a fantastic coach. Shows so much passion for the jersey. Look, he doesn't come up with any sort of Chichilian type speeches, but the way he talks and the emotion that he shows when he talks about the Blues jumper, I think it's exactly what the Blues need. They're going to want to play for him on the night, which I think is really important, wanting to play for your coach. And I think it's a really, really good team they've picked. I love a lot of the selections. You know, it would have been easy to go Luai at 5'8" with his halfback partner, his former halfback partner, but I think Mitchell Moses is a good selection. Mitchell Moses, we had him 100% footy a few weeks ago, and he said he used to play on the left-hand side of the field. And I think the best part about Mitch Moses' game is his running game. And I think the fact he can now sit back, let Cleary steer the team around the park and run when he wants to run, pick his moments, I think he's going to be really, really good on Wednesday night. And obviously also his kicking game. He's probably got the best long kicking game in the competition. So I think it's a great selection. I think the team's really well balanced and I like it. I think it's a good team. In saying that, Queensland's got a very good team also. I think both teams are stronger than what they were last year.
Joey, that's probably been the biggest talking point for New South Wales, Cleary and Moses together. Do you think they will complement each other well? And although they've said that, yes, Nathan is going to steer the ship and take the reins, they've got the luxury, I guess, of interchanging that at times if the Maroons are just hammering Cleary.
I think yes, but even these two, they wouldn't know. They won't know. They won't know till after 20 minutes when they're out on the field how it goes. You can have all the plans in the world and talk about the structures, but until you're out there and you know what hits the fan, then we'll see under fatigue and under pressure. But I like it. I think Mitchell Moses, his running game, that Gal talks about, but also his long passing. And if he's on the left side, which will bring Latrell and also Angus Crichton into play up against some inexperience in Robert Toyer and Daly Cherry-Evans. So I think his long passing game is a real positive, and he's an elite player. They'll work it out.
I think when you get in those moments, Joe, when you are fatigued and you know what's hit the fan, you go back to what you know. And I think Nathan Cleary just knows how to steer a team around the park. I think he'll just go back to that. And as I said, I think Moses' best part of his game is his running game. So I don't think it'll be a big issue for them. I think they'll be great.
I think the biggest job of Nathan on the night is going to be his defence. The one thing you could question Nathan on is moving off his lead runner and doing that a little bit quick. I think we've seen in grand finals when Pappenhausen caught him. A few players have actually caught him holding a little bit. Ezra holding a little bit too long on the lead runner. You think of who you're going to have Munster there. You're going to have Kalen Ponga there on his favourite side. You're going to have Hammer there. So you're going to have a lot of speed coming at that side. So that's going to be his biggest job.
I wouldn't be surprised if Nathan plays on the left.
Really?
Yes. And Moses plays on the right.
Is that an exclusive?
Danny Wadler told me. Purely for the fact of Mitchell Moses' kicking game early, the long kicking game, which is, as you said, Gal, it's probably the best in the competition. I wouldn't be surprised if they swap sides to start with.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think they could do it. Without a doubt, they could do it. There'd be no problem. The one thing I'd love to see is Latrell kicking.
Yeah, it's not a bad
He sits on their left side. We did it when we played with Jack Wyden. I used to get Jack just to put little punches up and be really aggressive with Kalen Ponga. So I'm sure they might think about doing something like that. And then if he torpedoed back to the middle of the field, good luck catching that.
Looking forward to this matchup, Latrell and Robert Toyer. But the big responsibility on that edge comes down to Daly Cherry-Evans because he's the one that's got to organise the edge. We talk about Moses' running game. If they're worried about Robert Toyer and they start to look out, and that brings in Moses' running game in and around Jeremiah Nene. He plays on the right. So if they start manipulating the edge and getting Latrell one-on-one with Robert, who I think is up to it, but you don't know till you're out there.
It's a big moment.
He's only 10 games into his career.
10 games into your career. And I remember my debut. I don't know if you guys are the same, but the game starts and then all of a sudden it's over. It goes so fast, absolutely lightning. It's over before you know it. You think, what the hell just happened to me? And you know, if you don't get in there early and have a good touch, don't get in there early and make a good tackle and do something positive, it can just go past you just so quickly. And up against Latrell.
But that's the thing. They're all worrying about Latrell and Robert Toyer. It's the players around Robert Toyer who are going to get targeted, whether they're trying to protect Robert, because generally if Latrell's running at you, you're not going to tackle him. It's the guys either side. So it's going to be intriguing.
Joey, the fact that New South Wales, we're all talking about the fact that they are favourites, does that worry you a little bit? Can they buy into that hype? And we spoke about, I think, earlier in the year about that whole subconscious, that they might not they might not be arrogant about the fact they're favourites, but subconsciously it starts to feed into your mind, doesn't it?
I think they'll be ready to go, but it's where Queensland like to be, the underdog, and everyone's raving about New South Wales. This is what they love, and this is where they like to be. The spine of Queensland, of KP, Munster, DCE and Harry Grant, you could argue would be up there with the best in Origin history. So that terrifies me. If they get room to move, something just tells me Munster's going to explode this series. And also Gallen. Gallen's been disappointing along with the Knights. So in that arena, I'm sure he's going to explode. So Munster and Munster and Gallen scare the hell out of me.
Well, you have to stop the hooker first. They'll have a big plan around Harry. You know, you've got to get in his face. You can't let him run out of dummy half. They'll be trying to stop him as much as possible. If he engages with you and he gets out of dummy half and they're getting quick play the balls, they're going to be awfully hard to stop.
I don't think the Blues will be concerned about the favourite tags. I don't even think they'll talk about it. I unfortunately come through a period where Queensland won 8 in a row. They start underdogs every single game. I don't know how they do it or where it comes from or why we're always the favourites, but it doesn't matter. From a player's point of view these days, it won't matter. They won't even buy into it, the Blues.
They always find a way to twist the narrative,
Queensland will
don't
try and
they?
buy into it because it's what they do, but the Blues won't care.
All right, of course, 3 more sleeps until a State of Origin, but there's always headlines galore across Clubland, even when Origin is in full swing. The biggest story, or one of the biggest stories of this year so far, has been Lachlan Galvin leaving the West Tigers. As it stands at the moment, so the Bulldogs and the Eels have officially put their offers forward in the vicinity of $750,000 a year, significantly less than that original offer from the West Tigers. Gal, are you thinking more the Dogs? Because Gus, all along, you sat next to him on that 100% footy panel over and over and he said, we're not interested.
Gus wouldn't lie. Don't you dare say that about Gus. I was asked that night. I said the Dogs. I said a long time ago the Dogs, and Gus said, no, we're not looking at him. But I've got to say, things changed in rugby league.
Yeah.
that was a fair few weeks ago now. Things changed in rugby league. I think the Dogs have a fantastic team, but I think where they could strengthen is probably in their halfback role, and I think Galvin probably does that. But it's up to Galvin. I mean, I think at the end of the day, when you look at his manager, he's going to put him with someone who he's going to learn from. When you have a look at Yongi, he went to Penrith.
He started Penrith.
Blaze Talangi's gone across to Penrith.
He's gone to Penrith because to learn from Cleary.
Nathan.
So I think he might put Galvin at Parramatta because he's going to learn from Mitch Moses. I think it's about his development as a player, his development as a person. I think he's going to learn a hell of a lot more from probably Mitchell Moses than he would from anyone at the Dogs side. They haven't got the most experienced halves, but look, either one of them clubs is going to be a good fit for him. The interesting one's going to be is they got offered so much money from the Tigers. Like I don't know whether he's going to be upset. He's probably not going to get $1 million a year at one of them clubs. That might be an issue for him, but no, he's definitely leaving the Tigers now.
I don't see Galvin as a halfback, not at all. He's a 5'8", and eventually could develop into a ball-playing lock like a Victor Radley. I don't see him as a halfback steering the team around, but so then if he has the Dogs, you got him at 7, you got Burton at 6.
Can Burton be a 7?
No.
Well, the story is if he goes to the Dogs, Burton's going to go to fullback. I don't know who they're going to play.
Or Crichton fullback.
They're going to keep Sexton and a half. I don't know. But I think the best fit as far as... Look, the best fit's Parramatta. Obviously, the 5'8's gone. He's got Mitchell Moses there to learn from, one of the best halfbacks in the game. That's like the fit that everyone...
I think it'll be
probably a natural fit, but I've just heard the Dogs. I've heard the Dogs for a while. We're hearing it now. Where there's smoke, there's fire with Uncle Gus.
I think it'll be a Parramatta. Just you look at the dots. Join the dots. He's a 5'8". He's not a halfback, and he doesn't need the burden of steering the team around. And you got Mitchell Moses and his uncle or cousin is Isaac Moses. Dylan Brown's going to Newcastle. He slots into Parramatta. He'll be a Parramatta, I reckon.
Easy peasy. All right, watch this space. Michael Chammas was saying
Can we just announce it so we can...
we could have an answer as early as this afternoon.
Please, get it done.
Please.
Lockie, get it done. Just sign it and let's move on. Please.
There we go. Then we can stop talking about you. Maybe just for one more week. We've got plenty more to talk about, so stay with us here after the break. What a win it was for the Knights in the battle of the cellar dwellers over the Penrith Panthers. And how about those Chookies, an understrength side, all of their Origin stars out. They got it done against Premiership heavyweights, the Cronulla Sharks.
He's found Radley. Radley close. The kid's done it on debut. The Bars go berserk. Xavier Farr scores. He just ended the game. That's beautiful.
It gives us some great moments this game, doesn't it?
How how good is rugby league? And what a moment for young Xavier Va'a, a try on debut. The scenes there post-match with the players and Trent Robinson in the coach's box just absolutely said it all. That man, Victor Radley, playing game 150 as well. But it shows that within the space of only a couple of minutes, rugby league can be a bit of a roller coaster, Freddie, because Va'a comes on, takes a great hit up, scores the try, and then an error from the kickoff as well, all in the space of like 2 minutes.
Where were the other players off the kickoff?
Where was the catch-up?
I reckon they thought they were going to go short. But the whole
team don't have to move up there.
Yeah, true, but I think they thought they were going to go short.
So this is the try.
I felt that sorry for him. He's calling people back. Come and help me. Help me.
Best moment of his life at this stage. Friends and family going absolutely nuts in the crowd. And here we go.
Help.
Where do I look? What do I do? The poor fella.
You could see all the boys giving it to him after the match as well. But the best part is, because they won, it didn't really matter. So
they were in front by plenty at that stage. So it didn't matter too much, but I'm sure he'd want it back.
But that's not his job.
No.
Exactly.
Now when your front row is catching it, catches. Who are we going to blame? Blame Teddy. We've been rapping him. Teddy, where were you?
Well, blame Todd Payton. Todd Payton used to love catching it. He used to, as the ball would be landing, he'd be screaming, going, give it to me. He was
a halfback.
He was a great wicket keeper too as a cricketer. He used to hit the ball on the fly all the time, but their tactics were awesome. They had young Harodi over on the right wing, and Toops, 2 sets in a row that just went down. The kicks were fantastic.
Isn't he playing well, Hugo Savala? Jeez,
look at that.
the whole team complement each other. Victor Radley is in incredible form. So he ball plays at the middle. You got Teddy supporting, and then Hugo, he just does his job, just kicks long. Geez, this one here, he's lucky he didn't get sent off for that one, Ronaldo. Look at this flick.
Boom.
But they are airborne, the Roosters.
And all their origin players out. It's disappointing for the Sharks. They had such a good win last week against the Melbourne Storm. And to be fair, they've had 11 or 12 games this year. It's probably the first game they haven't been in.
This is the knock on the Sharks. They can't win big games. Coming off the huge win against the Storm, not being able to back it up, especially with all of them out.
Yeah, and we had no origin players out, obviously. Look, and I know they had a bit of a disrupted week of training with certain players, not training and a little bit hard there. But at the end of the day, when you get on the field, there is no excuses. I just thought their discipline in the first half especially was not great. I mean, I think when you have a look at the end result, I think the penalties count was quite even. But where the Sharks, where the Sharks gave them away was just gifting the Roosters' field position in the first half. I mean, I know they even up by the end of the game, but the Sharks' discipline wasn't great, their ball control wasn't great, and at the end of the day, the Roosters just ran harder. And rugby league, look, I do think we complicate it sometimes. When you run hard and you tackle hard and you control the ball, you give yourself a big chance of winning the game. And to me, that's what the Roosters did yesterday. They simply ran harder and tackled harder, controlled the ball, took their opportunities when they came and got the win. It's not that hard a game sometimes.
The junior coaching and the way they've recruited these younger players, and we all went, who are they buying after Jared and Manu and Suwali and Kiri left? But obviously they had a plan. They saw these young players coming through. And we've probably seen, half a dozen, maybe more young guys debut this year, and they are ready to go. So you got to say the development, the coaching of the juniors is spot on. But the big question is, for me, the way they're playing Sandon Smith and also Hugo Savala, you got Sam Walker coming back.
In a couple of weeks, he should be back.
DCE. Do they want to buy DCE? They've got Toby Rodwell, who's in the juniors, who, by all accounts, is shooting the lights out. He's probably 18 months off. But the question's got to be, do you want to spend upwards of $1 million on DCE for 2 years? You've got these young blokes.
Wouldn't you think it's done? I would have thought it's done, to be honest. And I don't think these young guys learning from a DCE for a year or two is definitely not going to hurt them. It's only going to be beneficial to them.
They're not reckon they'll stay? Like Hugo Savala and Sandon Smith, they've made their debuts. They're NRL players now. They don't want to go to New South Wales Cup for 2 years. They'll be moving on. And Sam Walker's there. I don't see Sam Walker and DCE being that good a partnership. I see...
why is that? Because they're both controlling halves rather than runners?
Well, DC only plays on the right. Never see him on the left. Sammy Walker's a right side player. Sammy Walker's instinctive and just plays. DCE's similar. If you've got an instinctive player who's all in and just sees something and goes for it, you need the steady hand. I think Sam Walker and Hugo Savala together would really go well. Really go well.
You agree, Freddie?
Yeah. He did say that the Dolphins are also an opportunity. Once again, maybe that's not to play halfback. That might be to play 5'8", because the halfback up there, he's as good as anyone. So, he's not taking his spot.
Well, Izzy Katoa is predominantly a left
So Nicarima,
player.
I'm assuming. Has Nicarima got a contract there next year?
No, I think he's off this year.
So that match looks like it's more likely at the moment.
Watch this space. No doubt it will continue to dominate headlines for the next couple of weeks. The Knights finally back in the winner's circle. I know Joey was happy about that. Big clap for them.
Yep.
And not to take anything away from them, but Panthers, I mean, they had to win this one because the Panthers...
Don't take anything but.
No, but they...
This bloke's
You had to
flying.
win this. You had to win this one without the Panthers Origin stars, right?
They
It was a
found
great
a way.
performance.
But also Newcastle, Jacob Safidi out, Leo Thompson was a late scratch.
Gallen.
I've got to say, Fletcher Sharp, he is truly an elite player. The swerve, the balance, the support play is always in the frame. Big win from the Knights.
Well, last year from round 11, Gallen didn't play for 4 weeks and actually won 4 games. So sometimes when you take your best player out and who you really wait for to seek opportunities, all of a sudden everyone starts playing together and becomes a bit of a team instead of just relying on one person. And they look dangerous. The game was over very early. Although Penrith had chances, although Alamotti had about 3 or 4 chances with 2-on-1s with a winger and just come up with bad options.
So they had
the Jenkins no try. I thought that was a try. Yeah. I couldn't believe why that was a no try.
Special mention to Paul Bryan on debut. His first tackle, he pops his shoulder out and he pops it back in, somehow plays with the injury, pops it out again, twice, pops it back in. And
How
plays,
painful is that?
Oh, it's ridiculous.
It's impossible to play with.
It's insane. I saw the first tackle and he did it. And
You could see it.
You could see him walking like with a dislocated shoulder. But then I thought, OK, he's just going to try to get to half-time because there's only about 5 or 6 minutes to go. Here it is here. He come back on the second half. He played about the first 8 or 9 minutes of the second half also. So he's one tough bloke.
And you know what it's like? If you don't play with the play, he's on debut.
Is tough the word?
I don't know, but mate, the pain he must have been in. And then he got back into it. And then he had a hit up. And he dislocated it again.
But you know what? You play with a young bloke like that, he you know's busted, but he puts in, you're trusting him. Next time you're defending next to him, you see him, you go, well, I'm sweet. I've got this madman next to me. But, yeah, great story.
They scored 20-odd points after 20 minutes the night. They haven't been able to score all year.
Yeah.
In saying that, they only scored 1 point after the rest of the match when I think they were down to 12 at one stage to the Panthers. But where's that come from?
Support play, but also Kalen not being there. They set up all the time for the big play for Kalen. There was no setting up last night. Fletcher Sharp's on the ball. He's getting dummy half. They were all pushing forward with each other, playing the ball fast. They played a different style. So
on a positive for the Knights, but on a negative for the Panthers, like to win 4 premierships straight and now be at the bottom of the ladder. I think their season's gone. Daryl Broman said on radio at the start of the year they won't make the 8. We all laughed at him. We all laughed at him and said you're a fool. Then I don't think they're going to make the 8. I think they're in big trouble.
With you.
Yeah, that could be right. They're only 3 points off the 8, though.
Yeah, it's insanely
okay,
close.
so
If you look at the competition at the moment,
like
16th is 2 points away from the 8.
They have based their whole game on defence for the past 4 or 5 seasons. They missed 55 tackles yesterday. Like that, the way they're playing is just not.
Mate, have a look at the team. Have a look at the team they've gone out with.
But it hasn't mattered in years gone by, Freddie.
Yeah, I know, but you've also lost another couple this. So you lose a winger, Taruvi, you lose. You're 5'8". Who else did they lose?
Fisher Harris. And then last night, not only were they missing their Origin players, Luke Garner wasn't there, Papali'i wasn't there.
Remember years gone by, they've had the luxury this time of year. They've had lots of Origin representation. They haven't had to play them players to back up. So they're playing on Wednesday. They're going to have to play this week.
Yeah, because they just don't.
Yeah, that's a big one.
If they want to win, or get inside that top 8 by the back, they're going to have to back their players up, which they haven't had to do the past couple of years. Now that's going to come. That's going to catch up with them at some stage. The back end of the year it might affect the Origin series. Who knows? But they're going to have to play them. They can't rest them players now.
That whole system has fed the competition of leadership. You look what they've done to the Warriors. You look what it's done to the Tigers. You look what it's done to
Bulldogs.
Canterbury. Like, eventually you're going to get drained where, at the moment they're just drained. They're all gone. So, they're just going to have to come back. And like you said, coming back and having to play is going to be a real burden. And it's going
to have to do it for 6 weeks every week.
Big game Friday night, live and free.
Oh, how about the hosting duties? Off you go. Plug it.
Net Strata.
Free stuff.
You'll see it. Knights v Dragons. Dragons coming off the bye.
Is that called a blockbuster?
Ian Maurice. There it is, live
Post
and free
Joey.
from 7:30.
On 9 and 9 now. Don't forget 9
9 now,
as
yeah.
well. If you're out and about, get your phone or your iPad open.
Geez, Fletcher Sharp in that photo. He looks like he's been
A serial killer.
electrocuted.
What about his
He came
mate's
through as a
haircut,
fullback.
Fletcher, the other Fletcher?
They look the same.
Fletcher Hunt.
He's from Warren.
They
out
look,
west.
longer.
Yeah, they look, but he's bigger. He's a big dude for a
People from out Warren, their romantic night out is going pigging.
Just
Luke Quigley, remember the bloke Luke Quigley used to
Yeah, I remember Luke
he was from Warren, he just loved so he used to get in tackles and be going yeah, romantic night out. Pigging. Hello Quigs.
Oh, goodness.
Pretty boy Quigley.
Just before we do take a break, to bring it back to the footy, you gave your salute was Dylan Lucas,
Yeah.
right, with the 3 tries. What about the almost 4th
Could have
try?
had 4. He's showing off.
Oh, this is so good.
How about the speed? Fletcher Hunt couldn't keep up with him. Look how fast he is. But I reckon it's a try.
No, it's not a try.
You know, the ball does not leave his hands. His fingers are always on the ball. If that's a kick and he grounds the ball like that, I reckon it's a try.
Gary, you're off your head.
Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah. I was on radio yesterday and I did it.
Yeah.
Were
he
you
hasn't seen the replay.
at Northies?
No, I wasn't at Northies. I was doing radio. I thought on radio I thought it was a try.
You'd have to be cross-eyed to think that was.
We'll take a
Go
break.
out to Warren. Cross-eyed to
I'll
Warren.
go to Warren, yeah.
We need a break so Gal can find his mind again. Maybe have a coffee or something. Up next, we're going to talk about the mighty Parramatta Eels. No Mitch Moses, no Zach Lomax, but they got the job done. A kid on debut and Junior Paulo playing game 250.
He was probably slated for maybe 10 to 15 minutes. Is out there for the full complement cheered on by his family. Hawkins! Oh, what a pass! Papali on debut! Oh, the footwork! That is sensational!
What an incredible moment for Joash Papali. We can see the emotion and the tears. What does this mean to you? Can you put it into words?
Yeah, it means so much. All the hard work I put in the preseason. I was a big supporter growing up as a Parramatta fan, and I'm so grateful that I did it here. And to debut at this special club means heaps.
How good was that? Joash Papali, a try on debut. He was in tears with his family at the end. It was a special night all round for the Eels because their skipper Junior Paulo celebrated game 250 and they got a big win over the Seagulls after a really tough start to the year. Freddy, they're slowly starting to put it together, and even more impressive the fact that they didn't have Zach Lomax and Mitchell Moses.
Yeah, and the other good part is it was 10-all till about the 37th minute. Turbo was actually coming down that left-hand side, doing some great things. So if you're a Parramatta young bloke, you'd be thinking, you know what, this could be a tough old night, but they just hung out. Their defensive systems, they work under pressure. They all work together really well. And the good thing also is that they attack you from all over the field. Dean Hawkins was involved in 4 tries, just coming up with some really nice balls. His kicking game was fantastic. So they handled the conditions well. Both teams finish up towards 90%, so it was actually quite a high-quality game.
We spoke before the match about Dean Hawkins and his kicking game, but really steered the ship, didn't he, for Para, because they're huge shoes to fill with no Mitch Moses.
He was incredible. Did his job, tackled well, steered the team around. His kicking game is really top-notch. It was a big reason why they won, his kicking game, just the pressure, the team, but also his kicking game put on Manly.
Junior Paulo for me.
He was huge. Game 250.
250 games. Jack Williams, my former team, was fantastic as well. But Junior Paulo, 250 games in the front row there. He's been a terrific player for the Parramatta side. Went down to Canberra for a little while. Played for New South Wales, obviously, but he's a fantastic player. Been around a long time. Leads that team really, really well. They're a young side, Parramatta, a bit of a work in progress, but I thought he was really good the other night. Led from the front and made plenty of metres, plenty of tough tackles, and big reason they won the other night.
One thing they spoke about is changing their body shapes. He's definitely changed his body shape.
Lost over 10 kilos.
He looks fantastic.
Didn't he go to your school and he controlled the school or something?
Yeah, so he was at Ashcroft. We went to Ashcroft High, and he apparently, speaking to some teachers there, he had a great influence over the place. He's a really calm bloke, but he also has that pretty intimidation about him as well. So
if students were playing up, he'd grab him and say, pull your head in.
Pull him in line.
Good stuff.
He's a great role model, that is.
Would you listen to him?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you need your shoes polished at all?
Oh, goodness.
He's scary.
Can be.
Yeah. Scary. Did you fight him?
A long time ago.
How'd you go?
Stop it, Joe.
That was a pretty good find, actually. Like, for someone who's sort of...
He's a great athlete. He's a really good athlete. He's a really nice guy. Thoroughly deserves everything that was said about him the other night, and I'm really glad the Parramatta side showed up and played for him, because those big games these days, 250, 300 games, they're celebrated a whole lot more now than what they used to be, and people make a big deal of them. So for your teammates to turn up and go out there and play well for you, I think it's a great sign of how much respect they have for him. So, yeah, well done to Junior and the Parramatta side for turning up the other night. I thought they played really well.
It was great that he's able to stay at Para and continue his career there, because they let go of other senior players like Clint Gutherson, and many at the time thought, why are they doing that? But in comes this young kid, Isaiah Iongi.
It's a win-win for everyone. It's a win for St George Illawarra. Gutho's been their best player all year. But long term, this guy's going to be there for 10, 12 years.
He's good.
So you can understand, and you've got to make those tough decisions. This guy is an absolute star, and he's only going to improve. Once again, out of the Penrith system, well-educated, but he's a star. Quick, tough, brings the ball back really hard.
When you are young and you do get your first grade career started, it's hard to be consistent. The hardest thing about first grade and playing in the NRL is playing week in, week out, year in, year out. A lot of guys can come up and play 1 or 2 good games. It's not, when you're an athlete and you train full time, it's not overly hard to come up and play 1 good game, 2 good games. But to do it week in, week out, that's where you're really tested. And he's only a young guy. That was his best game the other night for sure. And yeah, I mean, there's going to come time he's going to have a down period too. He's not going to be able to keep it up every week because he is so young. But the future looks bright for Parramatta and a few of their young stars coming through.
Big future ahead and big week ahead. On Sunday, we have the Battle of the Golden West. Do you want to plug this one, Joey? You did such a good job.
This is at Combeck, big crowd. It's going to be nice weather. State of Origin players back. Nathan Cleary against Mitchell Moses.
Remember last time they played here, these two?
No, what happened?
Well, Nathan kicked the 40-20, then Mitchell Moses won it with a field goal.
Yeah, so get out there, get your tickets. Tickets on sale now on Ticket Tech.
Post Joey.
Was that the one who kicked the 40-metre field goal?
Get on YouTube.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
YouTube.
Buy him on YouTube. There we go.
Don't do that. Don't listen to him. Maybe we should listen to Joel Kane, though, because I'm sure he's got some good stuff to say this morning from Sportsbet.
Yeah, morning, Em. Just one sec. I'm not Googling how to change body shape, but I'm just double-checking something on the Sportsbet app. Paul Gallen is the outsider for the Sonny Bill Williams fight. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This man doesn't do push-ups. He pushes the earth down. That's how tough Gal is. Mate, he'll win this. Get around the 225 or thereabouts for our man Paul Gallen. I think this could be wrong as well. They met in Vegas, remember. Can you believe this? Going to Vegas, Canberra were the favourites, best backed for the wooden spoon. Leaving Vegas, Warriors became best backed. Now, the winner of this joins Canterbury with 9 wins. Huge. What about this price? Speaking about huge, Hudson Young has played all but 10 minutes on that left edge. New combos. You've got to trust your half partner. Murata, Nakora, you kidding me? Bang. Punching holes on that right-hand side. I love that. What about this? Be wary Queensland as the outsiders. One of my great staples in big games. We grow up, most of us, we love passing right to left. For some reason, grand finals, origins, left centres score. What about this? The last 2 series alone, left centres. 3 times 3 tries they've combined for. You're talking Bradman Best, Latrell Mitchell. In the past, I'm talking about Bradman, but you've got Latrell and Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow. 2 or more player combo markets. Speaking about combos, with Sportsbet, you can do a same-game multi with the player of the match, where the 1, 6 and 7s have been cashing in recent times. You can do that with them to score, perhaps. A same-game multi. What about this here? Edwards to score in a low-scoring affair. If he scores in a low-scoring affair, increases chance for man of the match. Look at the price there. Queensland equally. Kalen Ponga, could he do this? Look at the price for Kalen Ponga to score in a low-scoring match and get the player of the match. That is not bad at all. Gallen, 225. Are you kidding me? Anyway, enjoy your Sunday. I think they got that wrong.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
It's a wonderful atmosphere inside Allianz Stadium. A huge occasion. History beckons for the Blues. Underway. Brown to dummy half. Little kick to the in-goal area, and it's knocked on. Hang on, this might be a try to Tamika Upton. What a shot that is. Koenig goes to Taufa. There's an opening. Survivor Taufa. Go, go, go. She's in. What a try. Koenig breaks free. Looking for support. And she won't need it. Olivia Koenig puts New South Wales in front And now there's a bit of push and shove. Cherrington with a bit to say. Lenarduzzi with a bit to say. Southwell, that's a wonderful ball to Kelly. Out wide to Brezard in the corner. Jamie Brezard. Chapman is away. There goes Jamie Chapman. She'll slide over and score another wonderful Origin try. Davis. Now Koenig seals it for New South Wales. And that is it. Stand up and cheer New South Wales, the 2025 State of Origin champions.
It was a wet and wild night at Allianz Stadium, a dominant victory for New South Wales as they wrapped up the series for 2025. And I'm sorry that our special guest, Shanae Sazolka from the Maroons, had to just relive that. But Shanae, thank you so much for joining us in the lead up to Game 3. As you try to avoid that series whitewash, let me ask you first, how's the build-up been and when do you come down to Newcastle?
Yeah, the build-up's been great in camp. The sunshine down here on the Gold Coast, and we head down there on Tuesday. So it's been a great week so far, and yeah, we're looking forward to getting down to Newcastle.
Now, Captain Ali Brigginshaw, she changes position. Will that change the way she plays on Thursday?
Yeah, I definitely think she'll help our direction in the middle. She's obviously played lock before and in the middle, so you know, it's not something we're not used to. We're used to that, and she can help our middles in the a bit more in the middle there. So you know, it doesn't change much for our game plan at all.
Now, Tamika Upton is out, and Hayley Maddock will debut at fullback. How's she slotted into the team?
Yes, Hayley's slotted into the team really well. She's been with us throughout this three-game camp. She's been here the whole time, so she's slotted in really well, and she's been training. And you know, even when Tamika was in the team, she'd been slotting into a few reps at training and stuff. So I think she'll slot in really well, and we have a lot of confidence in her.
Opening 2 games, she's been smashed by New South Wales. What's got to change?
Oh, jeez.
Harsh. Yeah, obviously there's a lot to change. We have a great, fair. We have a great group of girls here, and we all get along really well. And you know, we've obviously got to build that connection on the field. We have the connection off the field, so just got to get our connection right on the field. But as I said, we've got nothing to lose. You know, 2-0 down, and you know, we've got a lot of pride and respect in the jersey. So we'll be going out there next Thursday night to you know, try and not make it a whitewash.
Well, on the other side, who you got to stop, or how do you stop New South Wales, because their attack's been humming?
Yeah, they've been playing really well. I think Olivia Koenig through the middle there, she had a great game last game, and Jessie Southwell as well. She's been great for them, so I think if we stop those 2 players, we'll be on the way to doing really well to get the win.
Lauren Brown playing halfback, plays there for the Titans, and we saw what she did in Newcastle last year as well with that incredible field goal. How confident are you with her slotting in there?
Yeah, she's been training really well in the halves. She's obviously played there before as well, and we have a lot of confidence in her, and obviously she'll be my half. So yeah, she's been training really well, and you know, Newcastle last year, she performs under pressure really well. So yeah, I think she'll do great there.
Can you give us a bit of an insight into how hard it is to prepare for an Origin series when you haven't been playing club football?
Yeah, I think it's really difficult to obviously prepare for it. Last year we had the Queensland comp to play before it, so we had a few more games under our belt. So a lot of us haven't actually played for about 8 months or so. So it's definitely hard to get that match fitness and game fitness. And obviously Origin's the greatest game and the hardest and most physical game. So it's definitely been difficult to prepare for that. We've had a few sort of games between us, but you know, heading into Game 3, obviously we've had them 2 games to prepare. So you know, hopefully we're ready to go by Game 3. But yeah, it's definitely been difficult, that's for sure.
Freddie mentioned the fact that Ali's shifting to lock. Unfortunately, one of the stories which we don't want to be talking about, but her partner came out and said that Ali had been copping a fair bit of heat on social media for someone that has done everything in the game, and you could say she is the GOAT of the women's game and so inspirational. How tough was that for you to see and hear as a teammate, and how is she travelling?
Yeah, obviously Ellie is really resilient. She's tough. She's been around the game for a long time, and everyone's got a lot of respect for her. And it's really disappointing to see some of those comments. But she knows that us girls love her. She's got the support from us girls and the team, and we'll all stick around her and stick behind her. And it's disappointing to see those comments when she's one of the greatest of the game and she's done so much for the game. So people forget about that sometimes. But we've got her back, and we'll definitely get around her, and she'll be okay.
What are you expecting from the crowd?
Yeah, I think the crowd obviously down in New South Wales, last year at Newcastle it was a really good crowd. So I think they're looking at about 12,000 at the moment. So hopefully we can get a few more people. But, it's just awesome to see the game growing in the women's game, and each time we're getting a bigger crowd. So the atmosphere is always great, whether it's New South Wales or Queensland and where the game's played. It's just awesome to see that everybody's supporting women's rugby league.
Joe, are you going to be the one up there heckling the Maroons?
No, I wouldn't do that to people. I know how it's not
Don't
nice.
lie, Joey. You'll be there. You'll be there.
Well, if I could get a seat, I
there
would.
for sure.
Oh, that's right. I got a grandstand up there.
Righto, heard it all now.
I think.
Well, if you want to know where to go after the game, I might be the man to talk to.
Oh, you're the man to talk to for after the game.
My goodness. You know what? I think Shanae has had just about enough of all of us, but probably Joey in particular. But if you do want to have fun afterwards, maybe he'll send you a text. Shanae, thank you very much for coming on the show. All the very best, and we'll see you up at Newcastle on Thursday night.
No worries. Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Can't wait for Thursday night. Game 3 of Women's State of Origin.
Well, it's going to be a sellout.
Well, you'd want to hope so.
Especially our Newcastle girl, Jessie Southwell, playing in the 7, an opportunity to go 3-0. Surely we can sell it out.
I reckon they get a heap of walk-ups on the night. People will be at home just saying, let's go watch the game. So you'd like to think they'd get up near 20,000.
Fingers crossed.
I think they get more than that, considering that the Knights are playing away live and free Friday night.
Live and free?
Dead Strata.
Do you want to throw to the break as well?
About NRL.com for tickets, is that right? Is there a forward slash in there or something?
Yeah, it's NRL.com/. You can just do it now. You stuffed me up. Anyway, that's enough. We're going to talk about the doggies after the break, because the ladder leaders have come crashing back down to earth. A huge win by the Dolphins on Thursday night.
There's a head clash here. Donahue, look at the nose. Oh, his nose is bent. Oh, this could be his night over.
Lever Willis through. There's another try coming. It's Almani, and his nose splattered in the first half, and he scored after 78 minutes.
Oh, no one deserves a try more than Kurt Donahue. We all thought his night was gone.
His night was not gone, not at all. How tough is it to play on with a broken nose?
I've never broken mine, actually. I know it looks like I have, but it's been hit plenty of times, but I haven't actually broken it.
You've got plasticine up your nose.
No, I haven't actually broken it. But I actually, Danica came to me and said, do you reckon he'll come back on? I said, look, it's only your nose. I think he'll be all right. And sure enough, he did.
There you go.
Yeah, the doctor, you could see in there, putting it back into... Yuck.
It's only...
I'm sure everyone's having breakfast, so I don't want to hear about that. They do want to hear, well, if you're a Dolphins fan, about the huge win, 44-8 over the Bulldogs. Yes, of course, the Dogs were missing their Origin players, but, I mean, the Dolphins were missing the hammer, so it was an epic win there in the wet.
They were outstanding, the Dolphins. A bit like the Parramatta game. It was actually 8-all up until about the 35th minute, and they scored at half-time. That was this try. And then from there, in the second half, the Dogs just fell away, and they just got better. Their defence through the middle was outstanding. He is coming up with some incredible offloads, Josh Kerr. But as a team, and I've got to say their middles were just, they were brutal in defence, and they were just moving the ball just enough in attack to end up scoring 40-odd points. They were all through the middle as well.
Well, they moved the ball really well, Freddy. They moved, like, for those conditions, you'd think you just tuck the ball in the arm and go forward, but they moved it a hell of a lot, and their completion rate was over 80%, so I thought that was fantastic. From the Dogs' point of view, I think the most disappointing thing for them would be the way they defended. They based their whole game around defending. They missed 50-odd tackles in the game, so that's something they don't do. Their completion rate was well below 70%, which is something they also don't do. So they were out of sorts the other night, the Dogs. I thought they'd win on the back of their systems they've put in place over the past couple of years. I thought the blokes coming in would just step in, do the job, but unfortunately, they couldn't, and they do have a lot of injuries. They've got 9 or 10 of their top-line players out, so at some stage it's going to catch up with you, and it did catch up the other night.
A wet and wild night at Accor Stadium. So we're going to dig into the archives and relive some of the most wild wet weather matches over the years. So first off, we have Origin from 1984.
This was the first Origin game I ever went to, and this was the try that won it. Have a look at that take from Greg Dowling. I was standing on the hill with my uncle Matt. There was stinks all over the hill. It was an incredible night. Remember Noel Cleal went to do a dropout and the ball didn't move. He just missed it completely. Wally Lewis tells me the story. He had a similar situation where he had to do a dropout, and he said to Barry Gomersall, he pointed and said something about something was going on over there. Barry turned away and Wally just booted the ball instead of doing a dropout. He just punted it out. So just too smart, the king, but what a great memory that was. That was my first Origin I ever went to.
Yeah,
and
good.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
Joey,
thanks, Uncle Matt. Good on you, mate.
Joey, what about 2015 Anzac Day game?
Oh, yeah, look at that. Hailing. They called the game off for a while, didn't they? Yeah, they stopped it for a while.
Imagine mid-game stopping a game, having to go back out. How hard would that be? That would be torture, I reckon. It wasn't like 5 minutes.
Trying to keep warm.
Trying to keep warm, just your whole body cooling down, and just not used to that contact for half an hour, and you had to go back out and do it all over again. That'd be very, very hard, I reckon.
And that ice on the field that would have cut you up. Imagine the grazers.
Have a guess who scored that day. Pick a player who could have scored. Mitch Rain.
Did you make that up?
Dad joke.
Scored.
Did he actually?
He scored. I think he scored either just before it started raining or just after, one or the other. But well done, Mitch.
We had Sharknado then as well, didn't we, Gal? What year was that? 2000?
I can't remember. I actually didn't play in Sharknado.
15.
I'm not sure.
I was there.
Yeah, I didn't play in Sharknado game, but I was at the game, obviously, and that was crazy. The blokes walking around in wetsuits and snorkels. The Sharkies, I think they won the game, actually. I'm pretty sure they did win it, but yeah, I wasn't there. There must have been 15 or 16, one of them too, because Mick Ennis was there.
You get crazier weather at Cronulla than anywhere in the world, I reckon. What is
Bermuda Triangle, Gus calls it.
What is it over there, Gal? What's going on?
It's a wonderful place to live.
Floods easily. Floods.
I was there one day and they had two socks going, or they're going the opposite ways. They're next to each other and they're going the opposite ways.
Really? Are you making this up?
We've got photos of it. We've got proof.
What about, last but not least, 2000, I think it was, the Raiders game. It was snowing.
Wow.
Imagine.
Thin on garlic, thin on pastry, big on taste.
How good. There's Loz.
Craig Field was in that Tigers team.
Thankfully, we haven't
There he is,
had any
kicking
of
the
those
ball.
recently. A little trip down memory
won?
lane.
Canberra won, didn't it? I don't know.
Doesn't look like they're all Tigers tries.
Oh, look at that.
It looks like
It's
something.
amazing.
Looks like an NFL game or something over there. Anyway, how good. Thankfully, we don't have to sit in the sideline in the snow.
No.
We might have to later on.
We would if we had to, though.
We would.
That's what we do.
We go out without umbrellas as well because we're tough.
Thank God, tough and annoying.
I tell you who is tough. Coming up, our next guest on the award-winning segment, Turn It Up. It is Jason Stevens, and a little bit later on, as we continue our countdown to Origin 1, Beau Fermor joins us ahead of Wednesday night. The big question is, will there be any late drama like last year's incredible series?
The series is alive and Suncorp is waiting. The Blues have won.
What they did tonight here was really poor. They were never in that game. There were no positives in that second half.
We can't use Suncorp as a saviour.
And the Blues are having a party. It's an avalanche!
Don't you come back no more.
Michael Maguire has wasted no time.
Axing James Tedesco.
It's a massive decision from the coach.
I'm sure a lot of people will be talking about who's not there, and that certainly won't be our focus.
Dylan Edwards, I think, congratulations. 6 Blues debutants.
Jake Trbojevic,
captain of the New South Wales Blues.
It's great honour, like very, very proud. They left Tedesco out.
Tedesco!
Dylan Edwards, he'll be out for 2 weeks.
James Tedesco was given a Blues lifeline.
He's ready.
It was great. It was a bit of a wild 24 hours. Obviously, I'm disappointed for Dylan how it's happened. It's a good opportunity for me. Yeah, I'm just excited to be back. You never know what can happen.
Reece Walsh hasn't moved in back play. He's gone for the night.
Oh, he said,
Oh, wow.
There's Queenslanders everywhere. Take your pick. The Hammer. Cherry Evans. An extraordinary bit of football. What a win for Queensland.
Joey, would you be making many changes?
Well, the first one, Latrell, just has to come in.
Well, again, the team that they've got, I'm just with a bit of an aura about it.
I'm picking the team that is going to go out and perform.
So you're not panicking, not concerned?
No, Danny. No, mate. Well, you've got to make sure you don't live in glass houses.
And Mitchell, Latrell's back in the big time.
Latrell Mitchell ruled out of this game 3.
When you get to this stage, quality goes out and quality comes in.
Look, we'll deal with whatever
Quality goes out.
Selwyn Cobbo is still not seeing eye to eye with the Queensland coaching staff. That will be denied by Billy Slater at a media conference tomorrow, but the Mail is good.
I actually haven't seen Selwyn more happy. Now, I don't know where that's come from, but totally fake news. We've earned the opportunity to play in the decider, and there's no more second chances for both teams.
The decider's off. May the best state win. Haas rumbling back. Oh, hard defence. Oh, Best has lost it as well. Oh, and now Luai and Cherry Evans are into it. And Queenslanders are coming in from everywhere. It spills over onto the bench. It's turning very ugly.
Jeremiah, you're over the top there. That's unacceptable at any level. All right, in the bin for 10 minutes.
No.
Cameron Murray, he's on the bench. If he's involved, he's going to be a send-off.
This is the biggest overreaction in Origin history.
There's no need for you to get involved. In the bin for 10 minutes.
He dummies his way through the line and gets to Edward. There's a couple of firebrands there. Luai, he cuts them on the left. Luai's in the backfield. He gets the ball to Bradman. Bradman Best breaks away. Bradman Best with a third Origin try. And one of the great efforts. Moses straightens off the left. Moses has scored for New South Wales. The siren sounds. The Shields heading back to Sydney.
If you had 3 people out for dinner, who would they be?
Mate, I'd have to say the big fella upstairs. I'd love to have him over and see him face to face. My mum, obviously, and the third one's a tough one, but I think my little friend over there, Trent.
Somebody mentioned my name. Yeah, on television again, which is awesome. Hey, Mum. Oh, I'm sure that'd be an interesting group of people to have over.
Worth the wait. Is it? Has it been? And when will the wait be over?
Not sure about the wait when it will be over.
So it has been 7 years, mate.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, it's been good. I'm not counting the days or anything. I live a really content lifestyle and just look. I've got good relationships around me with girls and.
Well, the big dog's got to eat.
Welcome to Turn It Up when we've got the great man Jason Stevens on. Steve,
good memory.
Okay, straight to the point. Early 20s became a Christian, and there was no hanky-panky till marriage.
Yeah.
Was it hard?
Well,
hang on. Was it difficult? I'll say. Was it difficult? I bet you. Was it difficult?
I'm only human.
Can we start again?
Is this pre-record?
Yeah, it was just all. I knew what I wanted, so made decisions a bit easier, and I knew what I had experienced, and so, I wasn't doing it God's way. I thought, well, he invented sex, you know what I mean? He invented it all, so he knows the best way, and so I chose to follow that way.
Cool. And when you were going through that period, did you actually nearly have to marry someone from Sexpo? What's that story?
Well, Glenn Pallister, the footy show, he rang me and said, I've got your wife, mate. I've got to come in. And, back in the day, you couldn't do a Zoom or anything. You're travelling from Cronulla to North Sydney, and he showed me all these tapes. One was a nun, one was from Sexpo. One poor girl, she had a couple of teeth missing. I didn't hold that against her. I was very open, but it didn't. Thank God Beck came along, so my beautiful wife. So
well, that all happened, and then you met Beck. So how'd you meet Beck? Now, of course, young Presley's come along.
Yeah,
and I'm sure that's probably one of the greatest gifts God could have given you.
Yeah, he's 6 years old. He's Presley because I'm born on Elvis's birthday, so I love Elvis, and I named him Presley. And yeah, I've got a great wife. I've got a great family. She backs me in my film stuff and endeavours and plays a huge role as well. So no, she's been very patient in that respect as well.
Young guy making his debut for the Blues off the bench, Max King. Similar story to yourself. Have you had much to do with Max?
I see him a lot in Cronulla, and I knew him back in the day when he was playing for the Titans, and honestly, he was fairly just discouraged with his life and just with his footy, and yeah, he kept having this Achilles issue, and just the story of resilience for him not to give up. It's pretty inspiring. I went up to him at the New South Wales True Blue event and gave him a big hug and just said, mate, you know, you're born for this moment. And so I think his faith has deepened over the years, and he's ready to handle this now.
What about your story as a footy player? It started with St George. Tell us about how you came through, your pathway, and you obviously finished at Cronulla.
Well, my brother and I were part of the first, along with the Hardy boys, Jeff Hardy and his brothers and Kurt Landers, and we got a scholarship, I think, for $200, the first one they ever did in St George.
Geez, overpaid.
Great. Graham Wynn saw me playing, and so did Stuart. The captain of Saints back at the time. Beatty, Stuart Beatty. Yeah. Said, I'm going to recommend him, you know, and keep your eye on him and so forth. And then Brian Smith eventually got a hold of me, and it was very different. Like, you know, instead of schoolies, I just said, I went up a couple of days and I came back and trained, but no one cared that I was training. It was so unorganised. Now you're on contracts and stuff like that. But I just knew that, there was Harry Eden, who was my footy coach and was a former player with Bob McCarthy in that era. He said to me, if you train hard, I'm telling you, you're going to play for Australia. And I was only 15, and not having a dad around, that meant a lot to me, that he believed in me, and he'd had a lot of playing experience. So, you know, I set my sights on stuff, and it worked out.
Big J, I was lucky enough to...
Except for a grand final. Can I just say, that was your...
You broke your finger early in that grand final.
Thumb, wasn't it? Broke your thumb?
Yeah, that's right.
It was a compound fracture, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. It came through the skin, and it was pretty gruesome. Well, I pretty much went to hospital straight away, and my brother was in the ambulance with me, and I tried to get the number of the ambulance. She was very cute, but I wasn't a Christian back then, but I'm just saying she didn't give me the number anyhow. But and then I had microsurgery at Prince of Wales, and when I woke up, I saw Brad Mackay getting the Clive Churchill, and I actually thought we'd won. And little did I know that Brad, who was going to invite me to Bible studies and was a key part of my life, he prayed. He said, God, you know, if I win that award, I'm gonna tell people about you, and he did. That was the first time I really saw someone publicly as a footballer. Thank God. And so he could have asked him to win the game as well, but he didn't. But anyhow, that's the way it is.
Steve, I was lucky enough to debut with you and play a lot of football with you, and you're fantastic for me. But the boys know it. You had this aura of being a nice church, God-loving person, but you were dirty. You were one of the dirtiest players I've ever seen, and you were one of the most ruthless competitors.
Yeah,
one of the most ruthless competitors I've ever seen.
Standing on people's hands,
elbowing me all
squirrel
the time.
grips.
Let me tell you a story about Steve. I'd done a lot of things early in my career that I got in trouble for. Big J would ring me every single Monday morning. Gals. Don't worry, mate, don't worry. I've done that. Everything.
And you used to give blokes wedgies.
Okay.
That's part of the Hopawati sort of...
No, I didn't get suspended. No. Because what happened was Cameron Smith, your lovely, let's just call him a correspondent. I don't know what he does here. But he got me in a nice headlock. And after that, I just said, that's it, guns are off. And I almost passed out. Remember that Melbourne Storm were doing that real bad? Yeah. And one of our players did, I think, not through him, but Paul Franze did actually pass out. So I went to the next level in wedging, but now my son's sort of receiving the... He said to me this morning, because we had a big wrestle, he loves wrestling, he loves karate and all that, and he said, Dad, the nuts, it's a no-go zone. It's a 6-year-old. It's a no-go zone.
But mate, you're a great player.
It's instinct.
You're a great player and great to play with and great to tour with. Tell us about our tours of England and great memories from being in England for an extended time.
Mate, it was the best because when I was younger, my mum, you know, they played in a different time. It wasn't on the same, and she'd wake us up in the middle of the night and say, you know, like, let's watch, me and my brother in a small room. My dad had left. Let's watch the game, and it was at Wembley and so forth. And then to play your sort of first Test match at Wembley. And, you know, it was a real nice, because my mum really, you know, she went above and beyond for us. So it was a very beautiful match. And I loved playing in England because I've got family there as well. My mum lived in England before. She came from Egypt to England, then to Australia. So I could have been teammates with Terry O'Connor instead of stepping on his head.
Standing on his head. That was gruesome.
You gave me up. I wish we had the replay because the cameras went to you and you went. I go, where's the poker face?
And the noise of it.
Poker face.
Stephen.
But did you see the one before?
10 Hail Marys tonight.
It was the second tackle because Dukes, they poleaxed Dukes and he got up like almost, and I said, it's on. It's just on.
Good days.
Yeah, the worst thing is that I saw Terry Connor was out here on a holiday.
And he's a champion bloke.
He's a champion bloke. And I was in the city, I was in the toilets, and I looked and I saw this guy with a scar, and I go, that's Terry O'Connor. And I just introduced myself and I shook my hand. And then when I went out, I thought, like, I hadn't washed my hand or anything. So I was like, I got him again. I got Terry again. He's got this big scar. Oh.
Mate, all the acting, all the theatrics, this is the other love of your life.
The producing, the writing and directing. I haven't got a face for in front of it. But, working hard on some stories, and I've got a couple up. My first film's on 9 now, Chasing Comets, which is pretty cool. We had Isabel Lucas, and it's funny how things happen, because back in the day, when Isabel just came out here, she was auditioning for Home and Away, and we were just in the city driving behind her, didn't know who she was. Yeah, Phelpsy's in there, and cut a long story, a car swiped her. We got out and tried to help her, calm her down, all that, and then 20 years later, she's in my film. So
that was meant to be.
She didn't give me her number either. But,
smart girl.
You wore it down. You obviously wore it down. You can do that.
Well, the number that I wanted was for other motives, but obviously, things worked out, and she's great.
But you lost 2 grand finals with St George, but that was against the great Brisbane teams. Mate. What's your memories of coming against Brisbane? Actually, honestly, you and Gordy Tallis sort of grew up together playing at St George, didn't you?
Me and Gordy Tallis had a massive... We were playing for Saints, and, he really missed home. And his mum came and bought Easter eggs it was an Easter game, and I ate them all right when he was downstairs and filmed them with toilet paper. And then it was me, Brad Mackay, and Gordon rooming in an apartment, and he was so upset because he missed his mum so much, and we started punching on.
You punching on?
Oh yeah, he split me.
Smart money's on Gordon.
no, but then the thing is. We went out and smashed Brisbane. Do you remember there was a 61,000 game on a Friday night? Was it Saints? I did around the corner. Phil Blake
in the early 90s.
In the 90, wow. I think it would be 93.
Wow.
94.
But those Brisbane teams of that era.
Mate, look at that. Lazo was injured. You imagine, they had Brad Thorne, one of the greats of all time in both codes. They had Tony Carroll, Webby. Andrew G was lock. I mean, Andrew G was hooker.
Yeah. Lockyer, Langer, Walters,
Mundine under the salary
cap. Sailor Takiri. Yeah, not a bad team.
Hancock on the bench. Oh. Imagine when you're that tired and Hancock comes on like doing.
What about your career, Jay? Do you have a favourite moment? Was it playing for the Blues, playing for Australia, playing for the Dragons or the Sharks?
Yeah, I think there'd be 2. There'd be playing for Australia because especially there was a game I wasn't picked in the team. It was a tri-series and then Rodney Howe did his knee at lunchtime, and Billy Johnston had flogged us that morning because I wasn't in the side, and I went from not being in the team to starting, and I put a really big hit on Jason Smith, and I remember you right next to me, and you go, yeah, here we go, and we won. We won. That was a great memory. But also playing alongside Martin Lang, I put him through in a semi-final, and he scored a try. We were really good mates, and I was so happy to see him against the Dogs.
Cool. Well, thanks for coming in.
Thanks so much,
That was a great chat.
I loved
Hilarious,
it, mate.
And we've had so many great times together. All of us with you.
We have.
Yeah, you're a great
man. To play with you guys, honestly, it was like a bit of a dream. There was one Origin, just quickly, and me and Kernsey were front rowers, and we had to pour water on our... Because you were just carving up in between. I didn't get the ball. I just poured. He goes, what do we do? And me and him put water on. That was when, because we're the last team to win 3-0.
2-0.
That might change.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on.
Thanks,
and stay with us after the break for more of the Sunday Footy Show.
Welcome to the passing competition. So no bloody arguments, you understand? No foot fault there, Greenie. And a 10. No pressure, Luke. This is one of the more important things that happens here on a Sunday, understand? Oh, beautiful. Rounds of applause.
Yes, welcome to another edition of Freddy's Pass Off. We have some very special guests from the Greystanes Devils. So we've got Vincent, Jaden, Charbel and Club Secretary Guy. So they're very pumped up for your segment, Freddie.
I've got to say too, for the Devils, they're up 42% this year, year on year last year. So 27% in men's and about 140% in women's. So doing some great work, Guy. What are you seeing at the club at the moment, mate?
Yeah, it's just a big growth in the girls' game, actually. It's good. It's starting to develop some of the younger teams and bring some teams into the first division, which is good. So that's improving each year, which is good. Yeah.
So Gal was from Greystanes, but he chased the cash and went to Wendy Magpies.
I did play for the Greystanes Bulldogs,
Right.
but I've got to say that the Greystanes Devils were mine and the Wentville Magpies arch rivals. They had a great team, and we ended up beating them.
How good. Well,
doing a great job, man.
Steve-O's sticking around too, so Jaden's going to be the rep for the kids, but Steve-O's going to go first, okay?
Not too much.
Right to left to start with. Right to left.
And
Yep.
you three can help collect the balls, all right? So 30 seconds
come
each
down
side. You can do it slowly
Get the
and
ball
stitch
from
him up.
back. I need one over here.
Show us your gun, Steve. Here we go. 30 seconds each side. All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, terrible.
Go.
Yes.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah. Oh.
Close.
Oh, shocking.
Guy, you got to help out, mate. What are you doing?
I've got one.
That's 2.
Come on, boys, get the balls.
Get the balls, kids.
There you go.
Yes, Steve-O, yes.
You got to throw more, Steve-O. More.
I'm trying.
Quicker.
Yeah.
More.
Mate,
more.
let me feed
Yes.
you.
10.
Oh, shocking.
Yes.
There we go.
Quicker.
More, Steve-O. You got to throw them faster, mate.
3, 2, 1. Stop
Go, one more.
Steve.
Sorry.
Stop
Stop, sorry,
sides.
never told me about the top sides.
Yeah. You're throwing watermelons.
Oh, he's not got
Oh,
this
the left
side.
to right.
Oh, yeah, not bad.
Yes,
Go, buddy.
Steve-O.
Go.
Yes, Steve-O.
Yes,
On a
Steve-O.
roll.
Yes,
Oh,
Steve-O.
3 in a row, baby.
Yes, Steve-O.
Look at him nursing.
Yes, Steve-O.
And again.
Yes,
In your face.
Steve-O. Put the 7 on him.
Oh,
Yes, Steve-O.
4,
Yes, Steve-O.
Go.
2.
Yes, Steve-O.
That's what Lachlan Galvin will look like at halfback.
I gave it to him his first 3. He was hopeless, and he gets like 6 in a row.
That was all time.
Good job. That was outstanding.
How did we go?
You got a darts?
We've got, we'll give it a couple of seconds.
Was your
Someone
foot over the
upstairs
line at any
is counting.
stage?
Possibly.
Possibly.
We've got the count. It'll be coming in a couple of seconds. Drum roll, please. Steve-O gets 251.
Is that all right?
Yeah, I
good,
think that
man.
probably puts you in about... You're probably in the top 4, I'd say, but we're going to have the leaderboard soon, and Jaden will have a go. I think Hazem's still definitely the top, but
Who's
we'll
up?
have to wait and see. Jaden.
Let's go, Jaden. You got to help him out, all right? We've got to be quick.
Is this far, Fred?
Yeah, that's it. Don't
got
put your foot
this,
on the line,
Jaden.
Jaden, all right?
You've
Here
got
we
it,
go.
mate.
3.
Ready?
Jaden, what did I say to you? Get your foot off the line. 3, 2, 1, go.
Go.
Not
Go,
bad,
Jaden.
not bad. It's rimmed out.
Yes. Good stuff, Jaden. That's 3.
Go.
That's
10.
4.
You got to throw
Boy.
more, mate. You got to throw
That's
more.
5.
You got to throw more.
Good boy.
6.
That's it.
He's
That's
on
it.
a roll.
More.
Yes.
7.
Faster, Jaden.
Yes.
Oh, not quite.
No.
Go. Quicker,
Yes.
mate. Oh. Here we go.
Let's go, Jaden.
Nice, Jaden.
3, 2, 1. Swap sides.
Yo, let's go.
Nice.
Get your foot behind the line, Jaden.
They distract.
Here we go. Come on, mate. Come on.
Yes.
Nice.
This is outstanding, Jaden.
Keep going, mate.
Boy.
Keep going.
Keep going, keep going.
Keep going.
Go.
More. More.
Yep.
10 to go, mate. 10 to go.
10 seconds.
Keep going.
Good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
5, 4,
Go.
3.
One more.
2,
Go.
1.
Oh, yeah.
It's counted. Well done.
Pretty good.
All right, let's bring it in. Come in close.
What shoes you wear?
14.
Big.
Nice
right.
shoes as well.
Too much. Too much.
Going
Gold
on
in them. Come on in, kids. Come in
Going
close.
on with him, Steve.
Come in close. Can we get a close-up of, I don't know if we can. I don't know if that's possible.
They mirrors.
What is them for?
Focus on that. Inspire some people. No,
302, Jaden.
Yeah.
beautiful.
The Devils.
We're going to have the leaderboard short. I think I think Narrabeen were at the top, but you're pretty close. So we're going to find out shortly. Big round of applause once again for the Greystanes Devils. And I think we're saying goodbye to Steve-O as well. So thanks for coming on.
I don't want to say for the rest.
Oh, you're most welcome to. Yeah, you're on.
Actually, I've got to go do a Les kiss. So thank you very much. Good to see you.
Thanks for coming on.
Anytime.
Hugs all round. We're sticking around though, so stay with us. More coming up of the Sunday Footy Show.
Thanks for coming in.
Campbell, little stroke for Fermor. Fermor has got it down. Beau Fermor. Basil Matalawi, line ball. Here's Fermor. He's away and he's over. And this time Fermor scores. Now Brimson, a dig which bounces up beautifully for Beau Fermor.
What a year he has had for the Titans, and now Beau Fermor has been rewarded with an Origin debut for the Maroons, and I am very pleased to say that he is our special guest here on the Sunday Footy Show. Beau, thank you so much for joining us. Big congratulations on being called into this side. How has it been for you? It looks like you've got a massive fan day there at the moment up there on the sunny coast.
Yeah, no, thank you. It's been unreal. It's been a pretty crazy week, but yeah, like you said, we've had a good training session today and had a bit of an open session, so there's plenty of fans out to see us, which was really nice.
Have you had a chat to Billy Slater yet about when he's going to use you and how?
Yeah, I've had a chat to him, obviously, knowing where I'm going to come on. I'm not 100% sure on when or... yeah, so I've got an idea of what my role is going to look like, depending on however many minutes that'll be. Is I guess probably up to how the game's going, and yeah.
Mate, I'm sure as a kid you've always thought about what it would be like to be part of a Queensland team. Has it lived up to expectations?
Yeah, it's been unreal, brushing shoulders with all the boys in here, some of the best players in the game, and our coaching staff as well. Billy, JT, Nate, they're the players that I grew up watching. So it's been a real pinch myself moment to be able to be in here and rub shoulders with them and learn off them and take little bits out of their advice or other players' games to implement into my own.
But your Titans teammate, Big Tino, is back in the Origin arena this year once again. What advice has he given you?
He's just said to back myself. I've been picked for a reason because I've been playing well at Clubland. So just to back myself and bring my strengths to the team and, yeah, just keep working hard.
Great reward. You spoke about working hard. Come at an ACL recently. The hard work to get back. It must be so happy to get there.
Yeah, definitely, mate. I was in camp in 2022. It was 19th or 20th man, one of the two, and yeah, unfortunately did my ACL in 2023. And injuries are never nice, as we know. They're part of the game, but they're never nice to do. And yeah, a lot of hard work's gone in to get myself back onto the field and just build that confidence back after having a whole year out. It's probably taken me a while to get that 100% confidence back in my body and in my game, but I feel I've really got that over probably the last 12 months. And yeah, it's nice to be rewarded with a spot in this team.
What about the New South Wales team, mate, the team you're playing? Have you sat down and spoken about weaknesses and your tactics around how you want to play them?
Yeah, definitely. We've done our video on the New South Wales team, which is in this arena. Every team's going to be strong. So we've just done our video on them and where we want to attack and their biggest strengths to make sure we're doing our best to shut them down.
Yourself, Robert Toya and Trent Liero will debut on Wednesday night. You're probably lucky it's up in Queensland. You won't have a hostile environment to play in front of. But what are you expecting on debut?
Yeah, I think running out of Suncorp for the first time it's going to be a real goosebump moment. It's going to be nice and loud, and yeah, like you said, it's nice that it's in Queensland to play our first game for Queensland in Queensland, and I'm pretty lucky in the fact that I've got two other boys debuting with me, so we can talk about our nerves and all of that kind of stuff, and you don't feel like you're on your own type thing. So it's nice to have the other two boys with me.
How many tickets have you got to get?
I've got a few so far. I think I've had to cull a few, but I've got about 20 or so tickets coming. So it's going to be nice to share it with my family and my close friends.
Well, Beau, a big congratulations once again on the call-up. It's been so great to see your journey and your resilience and determination. So we can't wait to see you on Wednesday night. We'll make sure these boys here don't heckle you, hey? So good luck.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Beau Fermor, what an incredible comeback it has been from that ACL injury, of course. Origin on Wednesday night, exclusive, live and free right here on 9. Stay with us. We're going to wrap up the Sunday Footy Show after this short break. See you in a sec.
Dun, dun,
Welcome back to the Sunday Footy Show. As predicted, yes, the Grey-stained Devils are on top of our leaderboard now by 1 point over the Narrabeen Sharks. So great stuff there from young Jaden. Well done. And as for our former players, we're
third.
Jason Stevens, third, 251, not bad at all.
Beat the Sharky, Ronaldo.
They're all wingers and front rowers except for Jimmy Maloney.
Where's Jimmy sitting halfway?
Yeah, Jai Arrow, Adrian Morley,
Rod Wishart.
And it's great to point out that the PM beat Rod Wishart.
Actually, Jai Arrow, 213. His dad actually played for the Devils, Grey-stained Devils.
He did.
Jai Arrow?
Jai
Arrow's
Greystains,
dad.
yeah.
Plays for Queensland.
Exactly right. That's in Queensland.
And there's another one, actually. Nico Hines' grandfather was like a Devil's gun.
Really?
I think it was Wilson, someone, I think Dave Wilson, Wilson. So, yeah.
Freddie
Great
all
club.
over it. As always, very much looking forward to our match here on 9 this afternoon. Second up against third, the Warriors and the Raiders.
Ooh.
Did you think at the start of the year that this would be almost a top-of-the-table club?
Unbelievable. When you look at the competition at the moment, it's just incredible. But then when you look at how close, 16th is and 17th to 8th position, so at the moment, and, when you look back at it, Canberra flogged them. And everyone just thought the Warriors season was over. And now they're sitting second or third. So both of these teams have been incredible this year. It's going to be a tricky one.
Joey, Warriors snuck home last week against the Dolphins, and a lot of it this year has been off the back of Luke Metcalf and just had a shaky start in Vegas, but has just taken his game to a new level.
He's under all sorts of pressure with the retirement of Sean Johnson. But he's leading the Dally M's. He's the form player of the competition, plays to his strength, and every week he's getting better and better. He's a real run threat. He's as tough as they come. I know he works really hard on his game. He had an ACL, then he had all sorts of hamstring problems. But he's stuck at it and works hard, and, congratulations.
They lost so much experience in the off-season. Sean Johnson, Tohu Harris was another one. I thought they'd get the spoon. I tipped them for the spoon and they're flying, so well done, Warriors.
For the Raiders, Gal, I think at one stage over the last month you've said they remind you a bit of your Sharkies 2016 side with a really experienced and gritty pack and some really exciting and fast outside backs.
Yeah, their forward pack's very experienced, as we know. They've got a lot of hard heads in there that they win the battle most weeks, to be honest, and when you do that, you give your back some time in the game to create things, and their outside backs play fearlessly. Look, they are young, so there's going to be games where they don't turn up and they don't play that well. I think our 2016 team, we had Ben Barber at fullback, who was a tremendous player, as we all know, and probably a little bit more experience in young weeks they got there at the moment. But they're a dangerous side, the Raiders. They're a very good side. They're physical, as I said, through the middle. They're fast in the outside backs, and they just play fearless footy.
You've got to be congratulated, the coach.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, he stuck with them. Kaya Weeks at the start of the season, having real troubles under high balls, and the wingers were sort of, outside backs were making poor decisions in defence, but he just stuck with them, and they're all played about 40 and 50 games now, a lot of these blokes. Sebastian Chris and Tim McCall, these sort of blokes are all, once you get to sort of 50 games, all of a sudden you're a little bit less intimidating, so you go out and sort of, you can put yourself on show a bit, and I think that's what they do. They really back themselves.
The atmosphere over there at Go Media Stadium, it's
be a night game. It'll be 6 o'clock over there, so it'll be dark.
What is it like?
It's unreal. Yeah. It's intimidating, very intimidating. You get there, it's very dark. The conditions are always normally pretty wet. It'll be raining, I'd say. So you come out of there. In the old days, they used to have this tunnel. They used to light the tunnel up. I remember blokes like Dennis Betson had to be coming out of these mad Pommy Fords playing from at the time. It was a tough place to win, but it still is. I reckon the new bloke, James Fisher-Harris, has had a lot to do with their character, and you just see the way they've won so many games that are within 6 points. They get winning all those close ones. I've never known the Warriors to be that team.
Yeah, also do,
type of
Freddy,
footy
they
team.
complete. The one thing about the Warriors, you expect they flick the ball around, go for the miracle pass, but they complete. They've got a high completion rate. I think James Fisher-Harris, he hasn't played a lot of footy this year, don't forget. He's been injured, but his leadership at training and around the club has definitely helped them. Along with their coach. Their coach has done a great job too.
Quick tips you got?
Warriors and go on the home team.
Up the wires.
I went the Raiders, but I'm none from 4 so far, so...
You can change it if you want.
Can I? No, I'll stick with my old mate Sticky.
Okay. 2 for Up the Wires and 1 for Ricky's Raiders. Stay with us a tiny bit more coming up here on Sunday Footy Show. And footy tomorrow night live from Suncorp Stadium, 8:50 p.m. You've got Cam Munster, Nathan Cleary, a great feature with Hudson Young, and hopefully Gal is going to grill Gus about Lachlan Galvin and what's going on there. You promise you'll do that for us?
I'll ask him, see what's going on.
And then I believe Tuesday night is Freddy in the 8th up there as well. How good. And then...
What are you doing Tuesday night, Joey?
Anything?
No, quiet one.
Quiet one?
Oh. Yep. How good. Also on 100% footy, there's whispers the fat could make a return.
Really?
On what?
Whispers the fat could make a return on 100% footy.
Wow.
Good.
Whispers. So we'll have to find out if that is true. We love you, Fat. Please, please, please come on because we miss you. But we'll see you all at 3 p.m. for the Raiders and the Warriors. Bye.